Hello, hello everyone. So let's get started for our intention activation session today. Um, as usual, let's first make ourselves comfortable before we start. So if you can, just give yourself a little stretch first. If you've been sitting for a long time, you can stand up and shake your legs. Just moving your body, loosening your body up for a few seconds. And then when you feel okay, just sit back down or make yourself comfortable where you are already sitting. If you can, have your feet flat on the floor. And now let's bring our attention, let's bring our focus into our body, centering our body, noticing our bodies and the weight of our bodies on this earth, the weight of our bodies where we are sitting, and noticing the weight of our feet on the floor, noticing how we're connected to the earth underneath us. And even if you want, imagining your energy going deep down, mixing, merging into the earth for grounding yourself. And then once we've done that, let's bring our attention and focus back in the middle of our chest, the area of our chest where our heart is, our energetic heart. And then imagining, visualizing as if our breath is flowing in and out directly through our hearts. Bringing your attention into your heart and visualizing as if your breath flows in and out through your heart. And now, very simply, just breathing a little bit slower and a little bit deeper than you usually do. Finding a comfortable, easy, steady rhythm where your in breath and your out breath are about the same length. And we'll do this for another minute together, breathing in and out, imagining our breath flowing from the heart in a steady, comfortable rhythm. Focused on the heart, imagining our breath flowing in and out through the heart. Breathing a little bit deeper and slower than usual. Let's do this for one more minute. Okay, and so now just notice how you feel. And it's likely that you feel a little bit calmer. And with this sense of calm, we're going to now remind ourselves of the direction that we aim to have for our future. What is our desired trajectory for our future, for our life? What's the end goal? What's the vision? Just remind yourself where you are at least intending to head in your life. Just remind yourself, it might be your vision, a global vision for your life, or it might be something a little bit closer in your timeline, some shorter term goals that you're working towards. Now just think about that for a minute. Well, for a second. Remind yourself of the direction that you've chosen. Great. And now we're going to reflect on the recent past. We're going to reflect on how the week that has just passed has unfolded for you. So, as if you're imagining in your mind's eyes, as if you're turning around towards your past, and maybe even imagining that you're floating above your timeline, above last week, so that you can have a bird's eye view on all of the events that happened, that took place in the week that just finished. And without judgment, just observe and notice, review all of the things that worked really well, and also notice whatever didn't work as well as you wanted or as well as you hoped for. So looking at the different areas of your life, whether it's work, relationships, health, passions, hobbies, your community, your spiritual life, your family life. Looking in all the areas that are important to you, just notice what is already working well that you want to maintain and nurture, all the things that you want more of, and then just notice again, without judgment, all the things that you would rather change or let go of because they're not working the way you want them to work. Maybe some relationships need some mending, or maybe some activities, tasks, projects don't bring you any joy, or not working out the way you want. Or maybe things are not progressing as fast as you would like to. So just notice all of these things. And notice how they make you feel as well. Maybe notice how also you make other people feel. Remember, that's all for the week that's just passed. How did you feel about your week, and how did you make other people feel? What happened that you would rather change? What happened that you loved and you want to maintain and expand on? And maybe notice that maybe some things you're not sure how you feel about, or they make you feel stressed or anxious, or any negative emotion. But you know that the thing itself is beneficial or is a necessary step to reach your goals. So in that case, just notice that maybe you're taking the necessary steps, that maybe it's just how you feel about it that brings, that would make you maybe discard the thing as not working, but that it is actually something that is going to bring you closer to your goals. So just not throwing out the baby out with the bathwater, and just noticing that maybe your reactions might be due to stepping out of your comfort zone, and just noticing that these are things that you can adjust. And it doesn't mean that the project itself is not working. It just means that with patience and nurture, you'll feel increasingly better about it. And it will indeed help you to move closer to your vision. So keep noticing what's going well, what you perceive is not going as well as you want to. And again, without judgment, just consider the things that you want to keep in your life and the things that really need to change. And then maybe sometimes it's not the thing itself, it's our attitude or perspective about the thing that maybe we need to adjust. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to work on aligning our vision and our attitudes and all of the steps that we need to take in order to get to our vision. And so now I'm going to invite you to reflect on whether if the past week was to repeat itself into the future, would it bring you indeed closer to your goals, or would it risk to bring you off track? So just get a sense that if last week was to repeat itself into the future, a version of it, would it already be aligned with your vision, with your goals, or is it off track? And again, maybe the steps are in place, maybe it looks that it could be aligned, but then maybe some things are a little bit scary right now because it's out of your comfort zone. You might feel a little bit out of balance yourself. So just notice, maybe all the steps are there leading to potentially your outcome, but maybe if you feel a little bit unbalanced, it feels like you're not on track, but you actually are. So we're all going to realign all of this. And to do that, we're now going to visualize and imagine the best possible version of the week that is starting today. A version of the week where we have all of the steps well aligned to move towards our goals, towards our vision. And we also are in the best possible frame of mind and attitude to actually enjoy taking all those steps, to enjoy and succeed taking those steps in a way that is fulfilling and motivating. So to do that, let's invite our imagination to come and play with us. And now imagine yourself at your best. Imagine yourself bursting with confidence and appreciation for yourself and the world, bursting with motivation and excitement. And take a moment to imagine how you conduct yourself when you are experiencing these attitudes, when you're in those supportive ways of being. So take a moment and imagine that that's how you are. And stepping into these ways of being, now imagine everything that you would make possible, everything that you would be doing and achieving as a result this week. That's you making decisions with ease. That's you taking action with confidence. That's you moving towards your goal with an open heart and with generosity. And just notice, imagine or visualize how your week would be looking like and feeling like and maybe sounding like. What do you hear and see and feel? when you're operating that way in life, you're confident, self-assured, you're trusting life, you're excited about the direction that you've chosen. And the more you're imagining yourself going through the week with that level of ease and flow, the more you imagine how you're impacting also other people around you as you are going about your week, being your best, being excited about your goals. Just now imagine how that impacts the people around you and contaminates others with your enthusiasm, with your generosity, with your passion, motivation. And just imagine what happens as a result of this contamination, this positive snowball effect. So now just imagine how people react around you. Just imagine maybe how that unlocks possible doors around you, how that unlocks some relationships, making them better, how that also impacts other people's lives for the better. Maybe the impact that you have is helping other people also on their journey. And that opens even more doors for more people. So just look at this wave of positive effects that you're creating, not just for yourself, but for other people. And now I'm gonna invite you to imagine one step further and imagining all of the opportunities, synchronicities, and unexpected gifts that life might be throwing your way as a result of such a positive flow that you have generated. Just imagine what doors could open, what opportunities could be made available to you, what magical synchronicities could possibly happen. Just have fun with it. Imagine, visualize, dream big. Notice that ripple effect of ease and flow and creativity, how that ripples out from you to other people, opening doors for everyone, and how that comes back as opportunities and synchronicities in a tenfold way to you. And now let's also go one step further and acknowledging that so far we have stayed in the realm of what we are able to imagine. So we've stayed confined to the limits of our current level of imagination, and that there are many more possibilities outside of what we currently imagine. And let's set that intention that as we go about our week, we are also open to welcome in our life, to receive opportunities, possibilities that we have not even been able to imagine so far. Just setting that intention that when something presents itself to us that doesn't look familiar, that we will recognize the opportunity and we will welcome it and be grateful for it in our life. It just trains us to not limit ourselves to what we are able to see right now, but to open up to everything else that's possibly even better that we are not yet able to envision. So just set that intention for yourself. And now I'm going to invite you to, again, notice how you're feeling. You've just imagined the best possible version of you and the week that's coming. And remember, your mind doesn't really know the difference between real or imagined. So just notice how that made you feel. And we are going to expand, we're going to make those feelings, those sensations stronger and stronger, because these are the means of communication that we have between ourselves and the universe and the field of energy around us. This is how we broadcast our vision into the world, into our reality, through how we feel. So just notice how you feel, the sensations, emotions that are present when you imagine the best possible version of the week that is aligned with your vision. And I'm going to invite you to radiate these sensations, feelings, emotions, to radiate them to yourself, towards yourself, and towards the world, the environment, the space around you. So imagining, visualizing those sensations, emotions, feelings. And with each cycle of breath, imagining that you are radiating them out into the space around you, but also back into yourself, inside yourself. So you're radiating them both in your inner world and your outer world. You're both nurturing yourself with them, and you're also expanding them out into the space around you. So on your in-breath, maybe you can imagine radiating them inwards. And when you exhale, you can imagine radiating them outwards. With each cycle of breath, these sensations get stronger and stronger as you're radiating them out into the world, both outer world and your inner world. And with each cycle of breath, you're visualizing them flowing in and out through your heart that becomes increasingly fuller and fuller with those sensations. And now we're going to use the power of your heart, to shoot out those sensations, emotions with such power that you're carving out literally a new timeline, a new path for yourself right in front of you. So to do that, just imagine, visualize as if those sensations, emotions have become so powerful that your heart is now radiating them out into the space in front of you with such intensity that it's literally burning out a space, a portal, a pathway in front of you, a portal that opens up in time and space into a new reality, a new timeline for yourself, for the week that is starting today. So in your mind's eyes, imagining you've now created that portal, and now we're going to step through the portal knowing that we're about to step into a new reality for ourselves. We're about to step into a timeline that is perfectly aligned with our visions and our goals, a timeline that is fueled by these positive sensations, emotions that you experience when you are actually living your dream. So now just imagine in your mind's eyes, you're now stepping into the portal. And now just notice that as you stepped in, the portal closed behind you and the timeline of the past has now dissolved. You are now facing forward onto a new version of your life, a new version of your timeline. So I invite you to take a few steps. Imagine that you're taking a few steps and that you're connecting with this new reality. You're fully open, breathing in and out, deep breath, as if even the quality of the air has changed. You're breathing in the air, the oxygen that is charged with all the possibilities that are now accessible to you to support your vision. All of these new possibilities that can possibly unfold this week. All these possibilities are present now in this new reality. They are not only present, but they're accessible. They're accessible to you. You're connecting with them. So as you breathe in and out, I'm going to invite you to imagine or feel or visualize that when you breathe in, you're literally feeling that connection with these new possibilities. And when you breathe out, you're breathing out gratitude and appreciation for these possibilities as you know that they're present and real and available to you. Breathing in, feeling that connection with all these possibilities that are now in your reality, in your present. Breathing out, gratitude for your potential realized, for these possibilities manifested. And in that state now of expansion and connection with these possibilities, we're going to anchor our being into this new timeline, this new reality, this new version that is now possible. And to do that, I'm going to invite you to first bring together your thumb and index finger on your right hand and press your two fingers together, noticing all of these sensations of touch and pressure. And now doing the same with the thumb and index finger of your left hand, noticing all of those sensations of touch and pressure between your fingers. And now I'm going to invite you to do that with both hands together and paying attention to give the exact same attention to your fingers on each hand, trying to find the perfect point of equilibrium between the pressure in your fingers on your right hand and the pressure between your fingers on your left hand. Finding this equal pressure between your two hands. And once you find that equilibrium, just you might notice that your mind is just letting go. It has no choice but to stay present and fully present on these anchors, the pressure between the fingers on your right hand and left hand, the exact same amount, full equilibrium. Now your mind is totally surrendering with this present moment. It can no longer hold on to the past, so releasing the grip of the past, anchoring itself in this new present. And you're now fully connected with this new version of your reality and your timeline. And now all you need to do at any moment in time during the week to remind yourself, remind your own mind and psyche and your body of where you are, of the timeline that you're on. All you need to do is join your thumbs and index fingers together, finding that pressure point, that point of balance and equilibrium, and you'll be instantly anchored again into this aligned version of your timeline. So you can now release your anchor and now we're gonna gently but slowly bring ourselves back into this new present. And to do that, let's rub our hands together until they're warm. And we're going to place them at the top of our heads and gently touch our body from head to toe, starting with our face and scalp, then our neck and shoulders, going down our arms, and then the front of our body from our chest down to our abdomen, also the sides of our body, of our rib cage, and down to our hips, touching our back as much as we can reach from top to bottom, and then touching our thighs from hips to knees, and our legs from knees to ankles, and then our feet. And if you cannot touch your feet, it's fine, not to worry. If you cannot touch your feet, just press your feet into the floor again, one more time. Noticing that connection with the earth and anchoring yourself again into the earth. Thanking the earth for allowing our existence into this plane. And on these words, we've now completed today's intention activation session. Thank you very much for following along. And I shall see you next Monday for our next one. Have a great week and remember to use your anchor whenever you need it. Much love to you all. See you soon. Bye.